not even it's just dopamine rush too.
Yeah.
But do you think though it's because that people don't really have anything else really going on in their life besides doing just a regular 9 to 5, just having a regular salary that's just coming in, so then they resort to social media as a way of comfort.
That could be it, bro. But like some people are okay doing the 9 to 5. Yeah. It's just that in their off times, yeah, you're right. They don't have enough things to do. They don't have a dog to take on a walk. They don't have a family to tend to. They don't have mom and dad close by to go say hello, hi to. They don't have no other hobbies, no business to run, no nothing. Yeah. So obviously you got to fill that void, right? Otherwise people get depressed.
Even like we were just talking about how like, I want to say it's motivation, but it was the fear of like, even we were just talking in the car too. Yeah. We had a whole nother podcast on that, but we were talking about like, okay, well, like how are we going to build a legacy, right? And the thing is like, we're kind of talking to how to become a man, like a real man, the amount of sacrifice they need to make and where that sacrifice begins. Yeah. Like for us, I mean, for both of us, we were talking about businesses, our past and stuff like that. Majority was just in our 20s too.
Correct.
Right? The amount of failures that we have for our businesses, the stuff that we had to learn, the skill sets, the amount of shit that we were trying to build with little to no money. Yeah. Right? And now it's to the point where you have a family, you can take care of your family, you can retire your parents, you have a house on the hills, you're living a dream at this point. Yeah. So the thing, I mean, like kind of going back to our point here is just like, okay, well, if these kids are really wanting to pursue that type of life, then it's like, well, you have to sacrifice a bit.
You have to sacrifice.
You gotta work on your shit. You gotta have the patience to build. And without achieving, like, if you want to achieve those goals, you have to do all this stuff. You can't be hitting up the clubs and bars and wasting fucking, all this bullshit.
But see, that's the issue, right? Like, I talk to 50 to 100 people on a daily basis because it's my job. And the main, like, I ask them all the time, why have you not taken any step? It's because 99.9% of them are afraid. They're too fearful to take that first step. They're afraid of making mistakes. Yep. You and me, we made more mistakes than anybody has ever attempted in 10 years within like 3-4 months. Bro. Yeah. That's why you have the podcast. I got the businesses. That's why we're out here making the money that they're dreaming of. It's because we're not afraid to fall on our ass and get back up. And we do it multiple times a day, multiple times a week. Bro.
Heck, the biggest thing is that because we face those failures, we're not like down about it like, oh, fuck, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. Like, you know what? It's fine. Failures. All right, on to the next one. You jump right onto it. We try to learn ways and like we learn from our failures and we try to see ways that way we can succeed in our businesses too.
Exactly. Yeah. So, bro, if we like in my field too, if you pick up the phone and you call 50 people, you'll get one deal. You get one deal, you get $10,000. If you think like that, I need to fail 49 times for me to make $10,000. It changes your framework.
It does. And you know, the one thing I do want to touch upon is, okay, let's say someone who is coming up. Let's say you're coming out of high school, you're deciphering. Because now there's so much information out there. Be like, now we know, like, this what's one of the narrative out there. You know, school's a scam. You know, like, oh, like we hear it all the time, right? Yeah. The modern day school is a scam. That's what we call it, right? So now, let's say a kid that's coming out of high school. Let's say a kid that's growing up in Brampton. Now they're like, oh, I want to be like Sam. You know, let's say he does want to get into properties or I want to build my own house or whatever it is. So let's say you're at an early young age where you don't have the equity and the capital to get into it. What are some tips and you can, give to the youth out there that, you don't need immense amount of money or cash on hand to start investing. You can do small things and build up to a point where you can maybe own a house, sell a house, flip a house, build up the equity to a point where, you can do that. So what are some tips and tricks you can give to the people that, can start up their entrepreneurial, side at an early age?
Yeah, so if you want to get from point A to point Z, you just have to acquire as many skills as you possibly can within the shortest period of time. When we talk about college and university and all that, I do suggest you still go. Yep. The main reason is because, no, it's not going to make you rich, but it teaches you how to socially interact with people. Yep. You see how awkward people are nowadays, bro?
Yeah, man.
After the pandemic, people can't even say hello, hi. They can't make eye contact with anybody either. So going to college and university and interacting with the people on a daily basis, every single class, talking to your professors, helps them open up. It helps build their confidence. Yep. I'll tell you right now, in any business that you start, if you're not confident, you're gonna fail. Confidence is number one. So go to school, build your confidence, talk to as many people as you possibly can, build as many relationships as you possibly can. And on the side, in your free time, you will have free time in college and university. On your free time, start scaling your businesses. And I know you don't have enough money. Even right now, just recently, I'm helping out a guy named Jasmeet, the Jasmeet Bhatti. Shout out to you, brother. He just bought a condo in Niagara Falls. He's gonna be making about $4,000 to $5,000 on a monthly basis. And he asked me, Sim, I'm running out of capital. how can I keep acquiring more businesses in real estate without so much capital? I told him the exact same thing. It's rental arbitrage. You rent a unit, you put furniture in there. Sir, you don't have $20,000 to $25,000 for the furniture. Just rent out the furniture, put it in the unit. Re-rent it on Airbnb. There's so many platforms you can put it on. You'll be making a spread of about $1,000 to $2,000 per month per property in profit per month. Where else can you do that? Right? So you just have to make a game plan, or just literally just message us, DM us, and we'll tell you how to do it. It's not as hard as you think it is. But the first step is contacting us so we can give you a game plan.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. Reaching out. Yeah, I think a lot of people are just afraid, like, oh, like they're gonna think I'm a clown, or I don't have, because a lot of people do have that. They think that, but like, yo, this guy's gonna just hit me up. He ain't got nothing on him. Like, I tell people, don't worry about people's perception, because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It never matters.
At the end of the day, people's perception about you, the way who you are, it has nothing to do with where you're gonna be in life.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I have a good friend, Napri Hasipuri. This guy's hilarious. Every time I'm about to do something, he's like, he's so funny. And like, I broke it down. I'm like, he's so right.
He's so right.
We're gonna die one day. Why the hell does it matter if Santok or this guy or Sataj is talking shit about me? Doesn't matter. He's not gonna pay for my bills. He's not gonna pay for everything. I'm gonna die in the next like 60, 70 years. Does it really matter? Who cares, bro? Do what you want to do.
And that's, and people don't realize that. It's like, stop boxing yourself to other people's opinion. Because once you start doing that, you start opening up to the world. As you said, reaching out is the first thing.
Yes.
Like for me, the hardest part, like I always wanted to get into, properties. First thing, it was just taking that risk. I knew I had enough capital saved up. It was just that risk. I was afraid. I'm like, yo, what if it doesn't work out?
What if?
I'm like, what if I put in $50K like down payment on a lot, and then like after a year, like nothing happens, and now I'm sitting on a lot, it doesn't even work out. What am I going to do? Right? Exactly. So for me, then I stopped looking at from the scared perspective. I'm like, it's okay. What if? I'm like, it's okay. I'll maybe lose a little bit of money. I'll just sell it at par. It's okay. Maybe I'll learn something through that process, even if the lot doesn't do well. Maybe I just sold the lot itself.
Exactly.
It's okay. I sold it at par. I learned something at least. I met people. I made connections. Yeah. So I had to get that fear out of my way. Like I recently purchased my first lot ever. So I get that fear out of the way. I was just too scared. Like for me, I always been in different, I've been into real franchising, you know. Then I recently started my insurance company and everything. So now it's like I'm opening up to a world where like I'm not as scared.
Exactly.
Because now I have seen, I'm like, so what? I'm like,
so what?
Yeah, like
you nailed the point, bro. It doesn't matter if you fail or you make money or this and that. You learned something. Yeah. And now you learned that skill set. You're gonna be guaranteed to make hundreds of thousands of dollars and not millions in the future, bro.
That's so true. And then, as I said, it literally takes you $50K to start something. Like people think they need. A house is worth $600,000. They're like, no, I need $200,000 down payment. Like, no, you don't.
You won't even believe it. Some people don't even know what a mortgage is. One guy messaged me. He's like, I need $600,000 to buy a $600,000 house, right? I'm like, you get a mortgage. He's like, what's a mortgage? It surprised me. Bro, I was laughing in the moment. Then I paused. I'm like, damn, they don't teach you this in school, bro. They don't teach you taxes. They don't teach you bookkeeping.
That's so. I took accounting, right? Okay, it's funny. I dropped out of doing my CPA. So while I was doing my CPA, one day I was doing my CPA. I'm looking out the window, dead ass. I was looking out the window, and this thought went in my head: what am I doing here? Dead ass. Like I knew my first. I'm like, what my parents gonna say? I'm like, I don't even care at this point.
Yeah, who cares?
I'm like, why am I here? Where is this getting me? Yeah. And I dropped out right then and there. I told my dad, I'm like, yo, I can't do this. I don't see myself doing this. Yeah. I'm like, I've been in the firm. I don't want to do this. I don't want to work at a firm. I have already done it for way too long. It's only 6 months. It's nothing. But I'm like, I don't see myself envisioning myself in 3 years, 4 years. As you said, working the ladder where, okay, I start at 70, then 80. And then like 5, 10 years, I finally get to the point where I'm making 100 to 120. Yeah. But at what cost? Deteriorating my mental health to work at something that doesn't even progress my life.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So it's just shifting that mindset of like, I think a lot of people just get scared, but ask enough people, as Sim said, just hit them up. There's no such thing as dumb question. There's no such thing as a dumb question. No. I tell people all the time, you asking, imagine you just hit him on DM. He might not reply today, but like whatever it is, tomorrow, whatever, he'll reply. He'll be like, hey bro, like maybe you should do it this way. No one's out here with malice intentions to be like, no, you're a clown. No one's here for that. So just first step is just asking people, but like reach out, as Sim said, DM them, hey brother, like I'm looking to invest in something. You're gonna be like, hey, save up like 10, 20K and then come back to me.
It's that simple, bro. You ask a dumb question, you'll be smart tomorrow. You don't ask a question, you're stupid for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So right?
Hey, that's bars.
It's true.
Why do you think though? Remember how you just mentioned that a lot of people are afraid to take the first step because they're afraid of what people are going to perceive them to be. Like they think, oh, they not for the TikTok, this and that. You know, people talk crap.
Yeah.
They
So
do.
how do you get over that? How do you get over the fact of people pleasing?
Yeah.
What would you guys suggest?
Like we
It's
talked
just
about
like I
it before.
just don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Most
some people.
They do, yeah.
99% of people
Yeah.
कहते होंगे, oh, लोग की कहणगे? What is he gonna say? What is my chacha masi this and that gonna say about me jumping on TikTok and saying this and that?
I think the best thing is results.
Yeah.
Easiest thing to look at. I know there's a lot of people be like, oh, like for yourself. Might people think, oh, this guy's just jumping around on TikTok, he's just clowning himself. Yeah. But guess what? On the flip page, you look at the results that came from it.
Exactly.
Right? So now you look at the next page, and the next chapter is, oh shit, I made 100,000 in 2 months. Okay. More TikToks to come.
Exactly.
Heck, man, the same people that are making fun of you at the beginning are the same people that when you actually make it are the ones that are asking for advice.
Exactly, bro.
The envy of this world is crazy.
I'll tell you guys, if you're taking that first step to jump on social media and to start posting content, whatever else it is, just do it. I get 15 to 20 million views on a monthly basis, and I promise you, I am getting much more hate than you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just don't be emotional. It doesn't matter. Like I said, right? So make your money now, enjoy your life, and spend time with your family.
Family, yo.
Yeah.
Like, even if they make you cry, go cry in your G-Wagon or your Lamborghini. Does it really fucking matter? It doesn't matter, does it?
At least do it luxury.
Yeah, do it like a luxury crime, bro. You're chilling.
It's so funny.
Oh,
you know,
God.
but the one thing I do want to pivot off to is, you know, obviously the business side. Like, you know, I admire what you have accomplished. And what, you're 20, I want to say 8, 29?
28 now, yeah.
Right? And that's crazy, man. Like, to accomplish what you have done so far, it takes a the mental fortitude you probably have built within. It's not easy.
No.
Like, knowing that, like, you have responsibilities for your parents because you have retired them. So you can't be like, oh, yeah, like, you can't forget about them tomorrow because at the end of the day, your responsibility now.
Your responsibility, yeah.
Right? Because you told your parents, like, I got you. So take us through, like, some of the mental battles and the hardship that you have, you know, came along, and how you processed it and how you kind of overcome it. And having your partner, as you said, I think is for a long time. I think it's you into high school, correct?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So having that alongside with you, how did you progress through all that, man? Because it's not easy, man. It's not.
I would say, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be Sim the realtor and this entrepreneur if it wasn't for my wife. It's because I would get distracted a lot. You know the whole term, you see the woman in the red dress and you start chasing her?
It? Yep.
I was like that. No, I'm not chasing girls. I'm saying I'm chasing too many opportunities.
Yep.
I wasn't focused. You have to be disciplined in one thing. And that's the rule of one. You got to scale up one business and one business only and stop trying to focus on so many different things. When I first started off, I was doing, I don't even know how many different businesses, 6 to 7 different micro businesses, making 20,000 here, 40,000 here, 30,000 here. And I was just more stressed out and making less money. It wasn't hitting my true potential. And then my wife would always be like, Sim, you're doing too much. You need to focus on the one thing and the one thing that you're good at. And like, she would always kind of be my filter in life. And she would get rid of all the negative energy, get rid of all the stupid businesses, stupid opinions of mine. And she would be like, this is good. You focus on this.
Yeah.
And so like having somebody there that's going to remind you of what's worth it and what's not worth it, and somebody to ground you at the end of the day is very important. Because you will get lost in this entrepreneurial journey. It happens a lot.
Yep.
That's probably her calling me right now.
It's so true.
And yeah. And honestly, like, yeah, I met Suki, what was it, in grade 8, to be honest.
Wow,
So, yeah,
that's crazy.
It was very funny because I was in badminton team with her brother, Dilpreet.
Yeah.
And I messaged him one day. And at this point in time, I'm not, like, you know how you're looking at me right now, guy, the nice suit, plug and this and that. I didn't have a daddy at the time, nothing. I was Mona. I had a haircut.
Oh, wow.
I had a chin strap like Gita Zeldar. It was like just, like, imagine 6-pack abs and yellow highlights and black highlights. Like, bro, I was just a next looking kid, a gangster guy. Fights all the time, just stupid things in middle school and high school, right? So I messaged Dilpreet. I'm like, when's practice? And this is when Suki, my now wife, messaged me saying, why are you talking to my brother? What are you doing? Why are you messaging him? No. I'm like, yo, relax.
I ain't doing nothing.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just asking when the practice is. Anyway, this is how we started talking. Yeah. And we didn't actually get together until it was grade 12, the beginning of grade 12, the summer vacation before grade 12. We started connecting. We started realizing that we had a lot of things in common. We shared a lot of passion for things. And we're like, you know what? This could possibly work out.
That's so funny.
You want to be my girlfriend? And that's pretty much it, bro.
That's all she wrote.
We got together, and honestly, I will tell you that she is the reason why I was so focused on business. Because, You know, when you're in high school and university, college, whatever else it is, your focus does go towards partying and girls and this.
And it goes that way.
Yeah. So obviously, if I didn't have to focus all my energy on finding a wifey and a girl, I was focusing on building businesses and focusing on my future. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying to everybody to go find a girl all of a sudden so you can become an entrepreneur. It doesn't really work like that, right? Yeah. I got very lucky in my instance. But I'm saying that when you're doing something, you got to give it your all. You got to focus hardcore. Don't just 50-50 and half-ass everything that you do because you're not going to get anywhere.